Okay, so I'm also going to clean up this. I'm looking at this and this kind of bothers me. I want to put this underneath here. So what I'm going to do is, first off, there are 8 inputs on this. From my recording of my notes, there were 4 to 5 inputs already used by the client in the walls. There are wall plates that connect to inputs 1 through 4, let's say. So what I'm going to do is this. We're not going to use 1 through 4. So what I'm going to do is hide our location so I can jump in there. I'm going to call this XLR 1 through 4. And I'm going to give it a description, XLR 1 through 4. OFE wall plates. So that stands for OFE wall plates. And we're going to use input 5. And what I'm going to do also is X after V. Then we really don't need the rest of these. So I'm going to get rid of our fields till we are right there. Then I'm going to grab this guy, drag it under, like so it lines up. And get rid of that, get rid of this, and align with this cable, and bring this tighter. Then let's see what it looks like with our locations. Oh yeah, I like that. So then we're gonna grab this. Something like that. And then we're going to grab everything again, shift it towards the center. So what I did is added the OFE speaker and the OFE amp into the mix so that we know, just so that you have an understanding, okay, where we had previously, all we had was the mixer, but the audio is going to the mixer, but where is the sound going to come from? That's my question. That's a question I ask. Okay, I see a mixer, but what about a speaker? And I would like to include everything within the system, even if we're not adding it, so that when we go there, the designers or the installer, the technicians understand exactly what is there and how everything should be connected. They need to troubleshoot or configure things later, change any configurations. And again, I'm just going to roughly using my arrow keys, get that centered, bring that up maybe to there. And that will finalize kind of our schematic, I would say. That looks pretty good. I mean, if we really wanted to, I can see we can give ourselves a little more space by hiding that, locking it. Then I'm going to come here, move this to the front instead, like so. And then grab all of this and then go up 1, 2, maybe 3 clicks. And we can even go up more. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can see how tight that is. And I'll unlock my locations, grab it, and right about, we'll go here. The reason being is I want to drop this down a little bit. One, 2. All right, that looks good. So now the next thing we're going to draw is our elevation. And the reason why I'm going to draw an elevation, side elevation, is because you have your plan view, but I found an error. Mainly I found an error on the pipe to use for this projector, which you show here is you have the suspended ceiling kit, which is correct, but this 18 to 24 inch pipe is not long enough. And how do I know that? Is I figured it out by, and I'll show it to you while we're here, is we'll bring up SketchUp, File, Open, Reset, Keaau, Cafeteria. Obviously I did a drawing, so you can see, still learning how to navigate within 3D, but so I drew the projector to scale, as you can see. It's not exactly 100% to scale, and I started even drawing cables. So this is a cable. I had to custom make this, but here's a cable, and I actually have it going up. We trace it, follow this pipe as we pop through the ceiling. There it goes up. I still need to draw the ceiling plate and such forth. But then if I zoom out, you'll see that it traces back. And see if I can zoom into it right here. And then we trace it back down the wall. And I stopped it there for now. But this is where it would continue to go down into where we needed to be within the ceiling or the behind the stage and such forth. So with that being said, this is how I got by using a scale drawing, I'm able to figure out this here. So by placing my dimension, I don't have much experience with this tool, so I'm still learning. The tape tool is probably the best, but let's try anyway. I want to orbit around this projector, and I want to get to its side. And let's zoom in a little. So this is my tape measure tool. I can just take this, measure it, and on the bottom left corner, you can see it even pop up. It's 5 feet 3 inches is what the height should be for this pipe. Now the other way is a dimension tool, but I haven't used this, so it's now a component. I guess because it's a circle, I believe, it's trying to look for the radius, not the actual length of this. Oh, here we go. There we go. So 5 feet 3 inches. That's our dimension tool that we can use as well. Let me get rid of this. So that is how I figured that out. Now for you, let's go back to Lustra. I want to show you how to do an elevation drawing instead. Because obviously you can't do that yet in 3D. So mainly what I want to do is draw a screen and projector. And we're just going to use simple things like a wall here. Let's use it here. Let's say we'll drop another wall. I'm just recreating a stage really quickly. Something like that. It's not to scale, so don't mind I'm just drawing quickly a representation. So it's not to scale, but just like kind of a quick representation. I'm going to just draw. Instead of using this, I believe I have a screen already made. Here we go, a side screen under AV shapes. I'm going to drop it. Let's make this small for now. And we'll do something like that. So then we can do, you can see I already have it labeled out exactly what it needs to be. So height is 14 feet. Height by 18 feet wide. And we'll make that larger. OFE screen. I want to call this motorized screen. And then for now, I don't have the pictures, so you know what? For fun, we're going to look at SketchUp. So you can see it's not just a wall, it actually has, let's see if we can get a side. You know what we're going to do for fun? I'm going to show you how I get a side view. Camera, standard view, left. And then, so we want a side view from this side. So first, let's hide this. Hide. And then what we want is a section cut or a standard view right. So there it is. Now here's a cool thing with SketchUp is you can turn this on. Right now it has a perspective view. I want to save this scene. So this allows us to come back to this scene later. Call this left of projector. Rename scene. Left. Then we can go to camera, parallel projection. So now this gives us a complete side view. As you can see. So this is what I would like to see redrawn next time, but I don't expect you to do it because what I'm just going to use this is kind of use this to redraw that there so that we have it here so you can understand what I mean. So the wall, oh yeah, so we're going to just get rid of this here. Now let's take this. I guess you can't disconnect it. Split wall. There we go. So we'll leave that as is. Leave that like so. Just drop this floor a little. And oh, according to the picture, it should look something more similar to this. So let's go back to it. Look at that view. So let's drop it down a little or something like that. Let's say like that. And what we can do is make this our ceiling. now it's like so. And then let's drop this down just a little bit. So that kind of gives us a similar representation there. Then we're going to draw these fans up as well. To do that, we'll just grab let's see if there are fans. I think there are. There we go. So we can drop this. Control Shift D. Wait. So it's kind of hard. You gotta find the right place to grab it. Control Shift D. Find the right place. Find where it middle aligns. There we go. And then what we can do is just grab this, shoot up, shoot up. Oh, I'm just grabbing and shoot up. So then I'm gonna like grab all of these and make them just a bit thicker, so they look like fans. There we go. And then let's grab a projector, which I should have one as well already made. Here we go. This one here, projector side. It's a little large, so we can shrink it down a little. And let's see. So yeah, it's in between the first two. And then we can do the same thing as far as actually rebuild this. So we can drop in a text block, shrink it. I want to fill it with a black. Oops. Like a dark gray. Let's see as small as I can shrink it to. Yeah. Then I'll do this straight up and then make this thick. So it's, and I'll do the same thing with a lighter. Match the colors. D, drop this up above it. Now you can figure out your piping. This would give you a better understanding if you knew your distances here once we put all of your distances, 3 feet and such forth. So like here, let's use an example. So hopefully we get to the point, as I say, we're ever evolving. This will be later as I can add this. Maybe this is data information I need to start getting to you as a designer even earlier. But like I can select, drag it out so you can see that's 3 feet. And then we'll add another dimension and see that's 2 feet. And that simply, you can see that's going to be 5 feet there. So using this information that I have here, I'm going to put this into the drawing as well. And I'm just going to use a line, grab it, touch it there, touch it there. And put some dashes to them. Double click and call this 3 feet. Obviously, it's not to scale, so reflect something more like this if we want it to scale 2 feet. That way we know the distance there and distance there. And that would help us, give us a better understanding of what this distance would be as we drop the projector. So knowing those two, this pipe drop should be 5 feet. Then I would actually mark all of this up as well, putting the make, model, and then the actual, well, first off, let me shrink this because we don't need the whole entire. Fortunately, you can see the cables. So you know what, we'll leave it as is for now. So here's some of the details I would add to this, like what are all of these products? So this here, I would actually move to the front side, and then I'll put all our labelings to the back side. Text, just want to put text on everything. Pretty much whatever this is, I'm just going to copy it. So let's get rid of our higher locations. So here's something cool we can do. We can just take this, Apple Shift D, bring it down. Oh. Like so. And I'm just going to get rid of the strokes. None. That way we don't have to rewrite it. And this, I'm just going to do a left align. And maybe we'll do it down here. I'm going to do something like this so it's cleaner. And then I'm going to do like this. So we know it's that. And I also know it's that. Maybe I'll align this. Something like that. And same with this. Maybe I'll just do a, you know what? Copy this one. I'm going to do the same, get rid of our stroke. I'm going to copy this here. And Apple V, Apple A, left the lane, left the line, I mean. This we'll do here. And also do one here. And move this like so. We'll do a smaller width on the cable so they match the text better. So that's all labeled. And now that we have it, we might as well throw in our throw distance. So we take one of these, duplicate it, grab it, hold shift to the screen, and we'll look at our plan view. And what was it? 11 to 14. So I'm going to put this whole information. 11 feet 10 inches to 14 feet 3 inches. 11 feet 10.5 inches to 14. Oops. 14.3. 14 feet 3 inches. So that's our throw distance. I'll also add this here, just so that the installers know even while they look at the plan, hey, we need power. I always, even though it's somewhere else, you always want it on every drawing to replicate properly. And there we go. That would be it. Then what I might do is bring back the locations, copy this, Shift D, and call this side elevation. And this would complete the drawing more realistically. So you can see we added that. With that being said, we now change this pipe. This 18 to 24 inch pipe won't work. I already have it here. So let's see, products, pipe, I believe we can just search. I'm going to go with solution type universal. So their website hasn't been the greatest of lately. So sometimes it's easier. Chief has been getting harder with their website, so I'm looking at possibly switching on them. But Chief manufacturer, I'm just going to Chief adjustable pipe. See what comes up. There we go, speed connect. So we want something that can at least go 5 feet. So right here, perfect. 4 to 6. I'd rather go with the 4 to 6 and the 3 to 5. So that'll give us more to play with. So we'll go with the CMS 0406. we'll change this information to 4 foot to 6 foot adjustable column. I'm going to copy this because we need to make the change here. I'm going to make all of these universally the same, and make this just a slight bigger just so it fits. And make these all match in size. Okay, so because of that drawing, we're able to figure out that, hey, our pipe was incorrect. And that's why we needed design in multiple disciplines or techniques to make sure everything works properly. Now I'm looking at this elevations. Now I'm going to grab this and change all of this to be a top left. I think will be better. Same with all of these. I'm going to make these all align top left instead of the center. For some reason, to me, that just looks cleaner because we read left to right. And that would be it. That should be everything. We got everything we need. We got our connectivity, we got our connectors. Except for a couple things. Cable lengthwise, I'm really concerned. And I think we should go longer. And let's see. Let's go back to our. Although you're not drawing 3D yet. Let's go back to this and see what our dimensions are from. Let's go from here. Up to here. For some reason, it doesn't want to connect here. So here's 5 feet. You know, this is going to run 22 feet. So it's 6 feet plus 22 feet plus 28 feet. And then let's do another run back down. Hard part is we're in a wall. So let's just do here to see for fun. So it'd be 20, so 40, 48 feet. So 75 feet would just be enough, I believe. But for this XLR cable, which we have to go from the AV rack that should be enough. Okay. So that's it. That concludes how I would clean this up. Obviously, I had to go back to some of my other drawings, but that's where you need to draw besides just a plan, a front elevation and a side elevation. that will help you in 2D drawing. So the next project, we need to draw not just a plan view and start the schematic, we also need to draw the front elevation and side elevation. That will get you more understanding, and the goal is to put them all on one page. Let's see. So next time we'll draw this with the side view and plan view. The front elevation and side elevation. That way you have all the descriptions and details you need. So there we go. Come back to our schematic. Again, this is a finalized product of what we should end up with for our schematic. Then the pick list needs to be updated to a, I believe the only thing I changed was this. So 00406 4 foot to 6 foot adjustable column. 75 feet, direct box, one drained, key free. Just double checking everything. Okay, so when you add this, you also will need to add tech labor, the outlet, which is just another line, but we just call it Yamada Tech outlet installation. And we're going to call this materials and labor for projector outlet. I need to get a quote from our electrician. We're just going to call $995 for now. $1,995 from the electrician. We hired an electrician to do that. Then we also need a Yamada Tech, and we'll call this lift rental. Lift for, we'll just call this lift, and we'll call this lift rental for projector installation. And I'm not sure of the price. I'm just doing a rough number for now. We will contact the rental companies, which we use, Home Depot. I can't remember the other name of the company. There's a company out here in Keaau that does lift rentals, and there's one more. But those are the two guys that we call first. And we'll see what the price is, and we usually put that in. And then how I usually calculate is I look at this project as far as time-wise. So we'll put that in. I usually go to my schematic view before I put in how much it's going to cost the client. Is I look at, okay, how long would this take us? With two guys, with a lift, 24 hours, we should be able to get this done. So that's what I would do. And scope of work, let's see. For me, I would hide the locations, lock them, and let's put this in the Apple C cover page as well. So let's see if we can fit it in here. Apple V. I think it gives it a lot more detail. Remember, we also have to sell this to the client as well. And visualizations are always the best form. So you know what? That's not going to work. So the easiest way is we come here. I want to take a picture, a snapshot. But before I do that, I want to go to settings, grids, off. I'm going to zoom in here, kind of get this guy as good as possible. Grab, capture selection. Edit, copy, come back to our cover page. Apple V. Kind of align this like so. And this here, I'm gonna crop it a little. We don't need this top half. We'll do it like that. Something like that. And then we can shrink this down. Shrink our scope of work down a little. And I might drop this down just for aesthetics again. Remember, I'm big on aesthetics. I'll draw a line across. Just to give it some separation. It's a simple line. You can see that it adds to this. And the only thing I can check though to be like super precise is see if I'm using my guides. Make sure that lines up with the bottom line. And then delete. Delete. There you go. Now that gives a client really something to visualize that will in turn help them to make a better decision if they will want to use our services or not. Because a lot of times, just like anybody, when you buy something, nobody wants to spend money and they don't know what they're getting. Our goal is to give them enough content without giving the entire system away. So that is what I will put in there. A pick list. It's pretty much done. Installation, plan, and schematic view. And that's how I would clean this up. One last thing is come back to our layers. Turn this back on hide. I would actually move all of these to separate layers, but nothing is here. Obviously, we don't need it for now. We don't need it. I want you to get back to drawing without the layers. The only other layer you really would need to add at the end is the locations. But this is how you would start. As you can see, I drew all of this with only adding one layer, the location. Or you drew it and then I did the modifications. So that's it.